on the Fox family of networks. It is number 21. Thank you, Dan. Number 21, USC. Number 23, Illinois. Illinois is a 7-point home dog. Dan Rubenstein, the line has crept up just a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen 6.5, 7 right there. Yep.
I went back. I watched all of USC's games this morning. My cup of tea.
Bowl of oatmeal.
Brag much. Okay.
Jaden Mayava has been really good so far this year.
Agree.
Like, all facets of this offense look really, really good right now. And defensively, I think the tackling is better. Their defensive front has definitely taken a step forward just in terms of, like, I don't know, pressure rate.
Saw that Jakeem Stewart play, the freshman, Jakeem Stewart, when he just launched himself into the backfield. Yeah.
Fifth in the nation in pressure rate.
Yep.
Now, some of that might be related to competition, but more to the point that we've been making all season long. Not everybody who's played bad teams is putting up these kind of numbers. So what I am seeing when I am watching USC is real intention with how they're playing on offense, how they're playing on defense. Might have a lot to do with the competition, but again, having the killer instinct, that is great to see.
Agree.
Was I wrong about USC in the preseason is the question I keep asking myself. And right now I'd say, yeah, it's kind of trending in that direction, idiot.
Okay.
I kind of sound like a fool because I said they were going to be worse. I said they were an 8-4 team. This doesn't look like an 8-4 team.
Not at present. Nope.
So let me offer this olive branch to the USC brethren out there that I know listen to the show.
Okay.
If USC...
Double down, Ty. Double down.
I'm not going to double
Triple down.
If USC flies halfway across the country for what's going to feel like a 9 a.m. kickoff on the body clock, and if they cover this point spread, which right now is 7, against a veteran-laden Illinois squad, I am going to buy one of those Tommy Trojan helmets, and I am going to wear it on the week that USC plays Notre Dame when we record this episode.
So you're saying if they cover this game?
If they cover. They can win, but if they cover, if they show that killer instinct, if they cover this weekend on the road against Illinois, I am wearing the helmet. Before you bring it up, I also need to wear the Muhlenberg shirt to honor the bet from 2 years ago with our friend Tim Murray, our friend in the desert, Tim Murray from VSiN. But I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for USC to show what they're made of. To go on the road, weird circumstance, right, with the timing, go up against a veteran team in Illinois, which, by the way, has to feel like their back is against the wall to some extent.
Yeah.
If they can cover this point spread, then I'm willing to admit that I was fully wrong on USC. I will wear the helmet in support of the Trojans.
I hear you. So, but what do you think?
I'm going Illinois plus the points.
What? Okay. So what? Okay, what is driving that line of thinking then? Is it a body clock thing? Do you think the best of USC is unable to overcome lethargy because of travel and start time in the Midwest? The weather's supposed to be good, by the way, about 80 degrees at kickoff.
Yep.
I think Big Noon's going to be there, so there's going to be energy there. So it's not like USC is going to overlook this. It's certainly a letdown / bounce back spot for Illinois after being thoroughly pantsed and spanked around by Indiana on the road last week.
Just brutal.
But as we like to say, you're not who you are on your best day. You're not who you are on your worst day. And so what is your line of thinking that Illinois is a team that can keep this close?
First off, never underestimate the effects of that body clock.
Okay.
Brought that one out of retirement just for the body clock. Secondly, never underestimate a veteran team that feels like it is in a desperate place after getting annihilated the week prior. And also never underestimate the fact that it's still, I think, a pretty good team playing at home.
Yeah.
Last week got out of hand. It was not good. But this is going to be a really interesting test, I think, for USC's offense and defense. On offense, because Illinois blitzes a lot more than anybody USC has played so far. They blitz about 1 out of every 2 dropbacks. So they're going to try to dial up pressure.
And that worked well last week.
It didn't work at all last week. Let's see how it works this week.
Yeah.
If nothing more, it'll be a change as compared to what Jaden Mayava has seen so far this season. USC, by the way, has been the least blitz team in college football. So they're going to see a little bit more pressure, or at least attempted pressure. Let's see how they handle that. And I think it's also an interesting test for their defense because it's a better team on the road. And The defense, frankly, has been the thing that everybody is focused on when you talk about USC, at least in the preseason. They've looked really good. I am sort of a converted USC believer at this point based on what I've been seeing, just going back and watching these games. But this is another test, again, on the road against a team that has a lot of veteran leadership and I think is a little bit desperate. So let's see what they're made of. I think the game plan here is probably, if you're Illinois, to force a couple mistakes by bringing pressure, by slowing the game down, try to keep the Trojan offense off the field and make it ugly.
Yep.
And we know that Brett Bielema can play that style of football if he wants to. And he didn't last week. But that is, I think, what's going to work if you're going to try and beat USC. I don't think they beat USC. I really don't. But I do think that this is closer than the 7 points, 34-31, somewhere in that number for me.
Also, something on your side is Lincoln Riley, since arriving at USC, take this with whatever size grain of salt you'd like, is 3-10 as a road favorite against the spread.
Against the spread. So not outright. That's just
not
against the
outright.
spread. Yeah.
Against the spread, he is 3-10 with USC. Obviously, each season is a different team, is different context. Also, the context with this week with USC is the status of their starting left tackle and their best big play receiver, both very much up in the air. Jacoby Lane and Elijah Page. Jacoby Lane did not play last week against Michigan State. Elijah Page got hurt. Okay. So they're a little bit thin there. Conversely, Illinois is super thin in their secondary. They are very beat up there. And so I think there is something to considering the body clock in a spot like this. I think there is ultimately reason to think this is kind of close and competitive for a good amount of time because of that. But I think USC does pour it on a little bit late, or at least turns enough on late, because I don't think Illinois against USC, and Michigan State scored 31. This was legitimately a game late. Jada Mayava had a terrific scramble to extend a drive that looked like he was going to get sacked for a loss and get it back to Michigan State. Obviously, the Spartans couldn't make that play, and Michigan State's defense is not very good at the moment. Illinois' defense may not be all that good in this moment. And so the way you beat USC, hypothetically, I think is going directly at them on the ground. And I just don't think Illinois right now can be trusted to do that. And I don't think they can get to 35 points, something like that. I think it's going to take to beat USC for most of these teams this year. So I'm going to say USC, maybe backdoor, but I'm going to say it's a cover. They win by 10 or 13 points at Illinois. Maybe it's, a 3-point game in the fourth quarter, and they just open it up.
I went back and forth on this one a lot. I really did, because I like USC more than I expected. And I'm just about ready to admit that I was completely wrong, as I've been about a couple teams.
This is a growth moment, though, by the way. This is a game USC has lost, right? That, it's on the road, it's against an inferior team, or a team that is licking wounds, is a team that, is looking for ways to find a spark. Maybe the most dependable receiver in this game is Hank Beatty. He's been great for Illinois, but I don't see Illinois having the dudes at present on offense that really should scare USC. So even with USC being beat up, we'll see how that affects the offensive rhythm. I have them winning this by 10 or 13.